Well, Grant, we touched on confidence, didn't we, on Tuesday night? How do you go about sort of raising that before the weekend?
I had a good chat with the boys this morning. I think it's important that I try and take a bit of pressure off them. I think I've probably, over the past 4 or 5 weeks myself, and probably the expectations that we put ourselves in, and the position we put ourselves in the league, probably up until Christmas time. We obviously thought we could climb higher and higher and higher, which is, you get yourself in that position, you think you can. So I think probably we've slipped off it, where we probably think maybe approaching games a little bit differently than we have been, and just trying to take the pressure off the players a little bit. I think the word playoffs, I'm not going to mention it again to the players. I want them to concentrate on the process, like I've spoke about before. And the process is trying to get a result on Saturday against Rochdale, and trying to accumulate as many points as possible from now to the end of the season and see where it takes us.
It's interesting, I'm following the chairman on social media yesterday, and he was very staunch in his backing for you firstly, but secondly he talked about the project being a bit more long term. Of course you'd love to get in the playoffs this season, but if you don't manage it, there's more campaigns to come when you can try and achieve your goals. Is that important to highlight that? There's a lot of short-termism in football. Is it important to look at the bigger picture?
100%. I think it's the things that I've been trying to build here at the club is not only in the first team. It's gone right through younger age groups, and in terms of trying to get them to play the way we play, and passing sessions on, and trying to build a lot of things around the football club takes time. Yes, my only focus and full focus is the first team, but I like to try and dip in and out of the younger age groups. Hence why you've seen the likes of Morgan Penfold have a run league team, Casey Douglas, Lewis Freestone signing a 3-year professional contract, and Leonardo coming through, and little things like that I like to try and involve in the football club, but which does take time, and what it does come with is inconsistent performances, probably from younger parts of the team. But on a whole, I am fully concentrated on the first team as always, and it does take time. Yes, we want to make sure we just concentrate on the next game now, and get back to basics a little bit. I think maybe we're trying to run before we can walk a little bit, and in terms of, I love playing football. I love playing out from the back. I love getting in between the lines and scoring goals and creating chances. That's me. But sometimes you got to think, right, hold on, there's a team trying to beat us here, and it's maybe things like that we need to take into consideration a bit more.
Yes, in fact, you've talked about performances. If you perform well, you'll win games. But really, the next three, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but performances really don't matter as much as the results. It's just win at all cost, really, next 3 games.
It's always about the win. Performance and a win is brilliant, but it's a result-driven business. That's football. No one talks about your performance when you win. Really, it's all about the 3 points. If you get beat and you've played well, no one's bothered about your performance. They just tell you after the game, well, how do you deal with that defeat? So it's getting the balance right. I think it's been a really clear few days for me in terms of my thinking from now to the end of the season, which is great. I'm mentally clear. I feel really, really refreshed over the last couple of days, and I stayed away from the club yesterday. I went and I visited a chat with Gareth Southgate at the LMA, and listening to him talking, and it's just little things like that. I'm always learning. I've made mistakes this year, there's no two ways about it, but I'm in my first managerial role. I'm learning every single day. I want to try and get better. I've got the passion to get better, and I will get better. That's a fact. I'm from a tough background, back in Northern Ireland. I don't give up things easily, and I'll do everything I can to succeed at this football club.
Did you get any one-to-one time with Gareth to pick his brains? A man, of course, who's learning day by day, right at the top of the English game.
It was more of a chat to coaches and managers around the country, and there was a really big turnout. To be fair, there was probably 200 or 300 people there, so it was tough to get a 1v1 with him. But interesting to hear his thinking in terms of how he moved from being a captain into Middlesbrough as the manager and things like that. So it was interesting. Listen, I'm here to learn. I told you before, I have made mistakes this season. But it's about me putting some accountability towards the players, and about in terms of little things that they'll probably change that I don't probably need to speak on camera about, but a little bit of accountability and put it onto the players in terms of right, we're playing Rochdale on Saturday, you know, what's their strengths, what's their threats, and the players coming back to me with those answers, and something that we've tried to do and try to blend in slowly into the squad, but that's about the players, you know, the learning process and little things like that. But we know from the outside looking in, it's all about winning games, and you know, we want to try and win as many as we can now till the end of the season.
That calm backing from the chairman must be important for you, though. I mean, I know you expected that really, because he said a couple of times that you're still learning and it's a longer term job, but to hear the man who runs the club giving you that backing and that support must be important, must be good for you.
It's brilliant. I'm really pleased that he's done that, and obviously, like you told me, I haven't seen it on the social media, but he has come out and said he's backed me, and he's told me that all year as well. But I'm never comfortable in my job. I don't think I am. It's not because I'm an ex-player at the club and I've moved into coaching and the management. It's not. I'm fully focused on what I want to achieve at this football club and further down the line. I want to try and do it as quickly as possible. If we can do it this year, then great. If it's going to take next year, then no problems. But it's more important for the players now for us to try and take the pressure off them a little bit. For the fans to, although some of them may be frustrated, to try and stay behind us now until the end of the season, because when you look at it and you think, well, right, okay, they're doing okay. They've lost a few games at home recently and things like that, and there's a lot of talk about our home form, and the more we talk about it, the more it gets into the players' heads, the more they start to feel anxious at home, things like that. So we want to try and take all that away from them, give them the license to go out and perform, play with a smile on your face, and work hard first and foremost, and see where it takes you.
And of course, in an ideal world, I'm sure you'd like to have a nice settled side and be picking the same 11 week in, week out. You've said that previously. It's tough to do that at the moment because of injuries, and of course you're trying to find the right mix to get you back on a long winning run.
One thing that I've probably learned over the last 6 weeks is that we haven't had a settled team. 6-7 weeks. There's been a lot of chopping and changing. Yes, because of injuries and suspensions and things like that, and the team wins, then they lose, then they win, then they lose, and it's sort of way it does play in your head. Is he doing enough? Does he need to commit? Does he need a breather? Does he need a rest? Things like that play in your head, but it's not about breathers and rest now till the end of the season. It's about getting the team on the pitch that can win a game, and if the team wins and they perform, like I've said all season, you keep your place in the team. But it has been a bit tricky, not hiding behind the fact of injuries or anything, don't get me wrong, it happens at football clubs and suspensions happens, but we've got a squad who I feel as if whatever team we put in the pitch should be capable enough to get a result in this league against anybody, and that's what we need to do. We need to make sure we go back to basics. We need to make sure we defend first and attack second. That's what I mean about walking before you can run, sort of thing. So that's the clear focus for the players now.
And Baldwin and Bostwick both returned to action on Tuesday night. Did both come through okay? Because Jack's been out for a while, and obviously Bostwick broke his jaw, I think, 3 weeks just over ago.
They both come through in terms of their injuries. Yep, they've picked up a couple of other little niggles, but they didn't train with us today, but they'll be fine for the weekend. In terms of the injuries that kept them out, it was nothing to do with them. It's just a little dead leg and things like that, and Bozzy and Jack will be fine for the weekend, yeah.
So Dominic Ball, I guess, may have to wait his turn again. Hasn't done too much wrong though, has he, Dominic, since he came through the door?
No, he had a good chat with Bally this morning, and he's told us, he felt as if he was doing well in the team. I did. The reason why I brought Jack back in is because he had been chomping at the bit. I wanted to make him the captain for the game because of his leadership skills. And Bally hasn't done nothing wrong, apart from, I think we've gone 90 minutes at Walsall without conceding, then we conceded two late goals. 90 minutes against Sheffield United and we conceded a late goal. So it's not about any individual no more. It's not about, the likes of yourself or anybody else asking me what about this, because it's not going to take individuals to get us, where we want to do and what we want to perform on a Saturday. It's going to take about the team and everyone together. So it's in terms of speaking about individuals, and yes, he's done good and he's done well and he didn't deserve to come out of the team. It's about everybody galvanising together now and going, right, this is a clear focus. We want to make sure that we can walk before we can run, and make sure that we try and produce what we can as best as we can at the weekend against Rochdale.
As you say, Jack skipper on Tuesday night. Previously, Michael Smith had been wearing the armband when Forrester wasn't in the side. Is that going forward? Is Jack now the sort of vice captain when Forrester's not around, or is that just, did you want to give Jack the armband just to see how he approached it, see how he went with it, really?
For anybody that doesn't know Jack Baldwin, he's got a tremendous calmness about him. He's got when he speaks, he's very, very clear in what he says, and loves the football club. He only wants to do well for this football club and not himself, and that's very, very important when you give an armband to somebody. Michael Smith's the same, but I just felt as if Jack may have given us, in terms of around the building. I think the captain doesn't just mean on the football pitch. The captain's off the football pitch. That you lead by example. You do everything right off the football pitch. If you've got to go to a function that the club's got on for fans, you attend it. Jack is top drawer at that, and he could well possibly be a very, very good captain, whether it be at this club, another club, or wherever he plays in his career. I know he will be, because he's still young enough to do that.
Will you said before you don't want to keep switching the armband round. Do you want to give him a run now of being skipper?
Well, of course, if Jack's in the team, he'll have the captaincy now, and obviously Chris is banned for another game. So it would be nice that if I could, passing the captaincy about is not what I'm about either. It's in terms of it's happened too much at this football club probably over the last 3-4 years, where it's been passed about a little bit like a sweet, and it's you word, and it's not, none of the players know where they're coming or going. So everyone's clear. I didn't just give Jack the armband without explaining to anybody. I had a chat with Michael Smith about it. I wanted him just to concentrate on his game on Tuesday night, and for the whole he did that.
So Jack, just to be clear, going forward then, if he's playing in the team, if he's fit, he's playing, he's captain from now on?
Yeah, he will be. Yeah, till Chris Forrester comes back. Chris Forrester is still our club captain. He's suspended, so if Jack Baldwin's in the team at the weekend, then Jack will wear the armband. Yeah,
fair enough. And we haven't even spoken about Rochdale yet. I've been jabbering on for some time. Rochdale, a side who I think they're on a 6-game run without a win. Prior to that, they had a fantastic spell, 5 wins on the bounce. They're a side that are always tough to play, Rochdale.
They're a good team. We've watched a lot about them this morning. We actually watched a lot of their stuff this morning with the team, not just clips, but games from previous games, and the last game against Charlton. And one thing they have got is they've got a very good manager. They've got really good legs in midfield. Alan, Kemps, McDermott, all clever football players, and at the top end of the pitch they've got people who can hurt you, in Henderson or Mendes Lang or Calvin Andrew if he plays, and so we know it's going to be a really tough game. It's a team who like to play. They like to get the ball on the floor and move it around, and we need to make sure that we're defensively strong first and foremost, and try and get our attacking players and our threats on the ball as high up the pitch as we can, and not on our half. So a lot of work that we're going to be doing this week, and have done and will do again tomorrow, is making sure that we can nullify their threats first and foremost, and then take the game to them at the opposite end of the pitch. And I think that's why we've got to approach games now.
How important is the striker Davies to them? Because he's been out, I think, since the Southend game, and they've, I think, 5 out of the 6 games since then they haven't scored. Is he quite a key man? 11 goals, I think, this season.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's injuries that happens in football. We could talk about our injuries. We don't. I'm sure Keith's not going to talk about the injuries he's got, because they can't affect his team at the minute. It's not nice missing key men. We've done it all season really, but they can't affect what's going to happen on the game on Saturday. So they've got other threats though. Obviously, Davis is injured, and they've gone through a little bit of a lull at the minute in terms of their last 5 or 6 games, as have we really over the past from January onwards. But sometimes, I think people talk about you make your own luck. I mean, we look at the other day and the first goal, is it over the line, is it over the line? When luck's going your way, you get them decisions given to you. Maybe the Luke McGee incident also, if luck's going your way, the referee gives you a free kick, and I know I said Luke should have punched it, I still believe that. But them little things there need to change sometime, and we haven't done anything differently from early part of the season up to now. So it's in terms of the performances, I think the confidence just needs to come back from the players. The belief needs to come back from them, the togetherness, and stay in the process and not look too far ahead of yourselves. And
Bostwick and Baldwin, as you say, picked up little niggles but should be okay. How are you looking for the rest of the injuries? Everybody seems fine from the game on Tuesday. I think everybody's going to be fit. Obviously we've still got Guion, who's gone to see a consultant today with a physio. We've got Harry Anderson, Jermaine Anderson. I think
possibly that's about it really in terms of the injuries. But everybody's good, everyone's come through. There's a couple of little knocks and bruises, but as you expect after a game.